What's going on, guys? It's Justin here with Summit Racing, and we have Justin from Fox Factory with us today. And we're up here in Coldwater, Michigan at the Fox Factory facility, and you guys have a bunch of cool brands under your umbrella. Tell us about some of the brands that you guys bring to the market.
Yeah, so, Fox Factory is a large family of brands. Obviously, you've got Fox Shox in there. Here in Coldwater, you have BDS Suspension, Zone Off-Road, JKS Manufacturing, CrawlTek, Revolution, and then our latest, kind of friend of the family is Baja Kits, those desert trucks from out west.
Now, we're actually standing in your guys' R&D facility right now, and just looking behind us, there's a bunch of cool vehicles, and just to see the facility and, the commitment to quality you guys have is really fantastic.
Yeah, so it used to be my favorite building. Now it's my second favorite. I love our manufacturing facility. We'll get you guys over there. But this is like if you had a garage on steroids, right? We got plasma cutters and welders and tools, and all of our engineers kind of build out these rigs as if they were their own, to go wheeling on the weekend. And that's how our kits and packages and everything get developed, is based on a bunch of gearheads that work here building stuff that they would want to wheel.
That is awesome. So let's go walk around a little bit and check out some of these fantastic vehicles.
Sounds good.
So just walking around the shop, and we're checking out some cool stuff like this 2025 Ram that you guys are doing a bunch of work on too.
Yeah, so it's a bit unassuming, right? Not a huge visual difference from the 2024, but this has got the new twin turbo straight six. Really cool, really exciting. And it's kind of throwing us a curveball. There's some things in the front knuckle that are very much different than the previous one. And, this is part of the process. You bring these things in and, from the outside, it might not look like much different. Then you really get into it and you start trying to build a proper functioning suspension. You find all these little things. So all that tunability and everything. And that's what we're building here.
So just looking at some of these R&D vehicles, you can see bumps, scrapes, bruises, and a little bit of rust. So you guys really use these things.
Oh yeah. So this particular Jeep, this is known as Project Clifford. This is JKS's original JL, the first JL we've ever bought. Got almost 100,000 miles on the clock. I've wheeled this thing. You name a place, I've wheeled it there. It's been to Moab, it's been to the Rubicon. We drive it. It doesn't get trailered from show to show, it gets driven. So yeah, it's got some trail rash, some bumps and bruises. Right now it's got a prototype long arm setup on it. You can see it's all raw, so it gets a little rust look on it. She's just about a rat rod Jeep at this point.
Yeah, and this thing's cool, but like I said, that just shows your guys' commitment to R&D, that you go out and use and abuse and try to find those weak points.
Oh yeah, no, we find everything that Jeep missed, we'll fix and make more performance, and maybe a couple bumps and bruises along the way.
So we've made our way over to manufacturing, and there's all sorts of stuff going on behind us. Welders, CNC machines, and it's cool to see you guys make a bunch of this stuff right here in the United States.
Yeah, and earlier I said this is my favorite facility in the company, and a lot of it is that, right? I love, the huge machines and watching the process, and we still have people hand welding stuff, and we're making it right here. We're not pulling it out of a Gaylord and stuffing it in a branded box. We make it right here. So, you're gonna see knuckles machined, lasers cutting out brackets, and just kind of everything in between. It's super fun to be down here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see it all, so let's get to it.
Let's do it. So here's how these knuckles come to us from Uric Foundry. That's in Pennsylvania. We'll just let that soak in. It's in Pennsylvania.
So it's casted here in the United States.
Here in the United States, okay. These things are x-rayed for porosity, things like that, and then they go through the long, like about 7 minutes per knuckle, roughly.
That is so cool. It's wild how efficient this place is, and you guys have a ton of robot welders, but you still do a lot of hand welding too.
Yeah, something we're really proud of is you do see a lot of automation, a lot of technology. There's also a lot of parts that we just want to put a personal touch on, be it a really intricate weld or just something really, really important. You think about, all these BDS upper control arms we're looking at here, and somebody just doing some finished details. Super important, that hands-on, loves the product mentality.
So this machine behind us is really cool and does a really fascinating process, and Justin's going to tell us all about it. So tell us about this machine behind us.
Sure, and so, if you've ever been to Cedar Point and saw your favorite ride not running, that's the feeling I got right now. This is one of my favorite things we do here. So what we're doing is we make Fox Adventure Series shocks right here in Coldwater, Michigan. We make them basically from scratch. So we're making shock bodies here. We're cutting these tubes, and we're using a body closer. So this thing is spinning, the shock body here, friction welding it to a completely closed cap. And what's cool about that is obviously there's no welder or anything in process, just friction. and it holds, you know, upwards of 230 PSI. So really, really cool process. Just don't need to be running it right now, you know, based on efficiency.
Yeah, but it's just neat to look at the finished product and what it does.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so if you want, we can go look at some shocks actually getting built right here in Michigan as well.
Heck yeah, let's go do it.
Let's do it.
So we've made our way over to Shock Manufacturing where they're putting these things together, and it's really cool to see the process. And there's lots going on. You actually have one of your Adventure Series bodies in your hand.
Yeah, so this is that Adventure Series body we were just looking at. You know, it's obviously been powder coated, it had the eyelet put on it. And right behind me, we're assembling all the contents of that. You know, when you think about a Fox Shox, that's an IFP, or internal floating piston. So just inside the shock body is the beginning of that. And basically that's gonna go up to roughly here. And then we're gonna cram it full of a piston and its valving and the shock shaft and all the things that make a shock. We're gonna pressure charge it and oil charge it all at once in one process, and it's gonna be ready to go on your ride.
So what we have here is some of your guys' most popular shocks that they're actually putting together behind us.
Yeah, absolutely. So right here, you've got the quintessential Fox Performance Series shock. This is a 2.0, it's aluminum body, internal floating piston. This is the bread and butter of the Fox line. This one is a custom tuned BDS unit. So we have some proprietary tunes inside of them and sizes and things like that. Then right next to it, we've got the Adventure Series. So the Adventure Series is very similar to the Performance Series 2.0, but also very different. First things first is we go to a steel body from the aluminum body. We're still internal floating piston, but a little different valve stack and just a little bit different tune inside of them as well. So kind of two different customers.
Heck yeah, and these are all gas charged shocks. And do you wanna explain the internal floating piston technology to the folks outside?
Sure, yeah, so when you think about a standard shock, actually a standard shock's hard for me to describe. It's a twin tube design. Everything's mixing together, gas and fluid. We're hoping they stay apart, but they're mixing together, and they're just kind of doing what they can do. And they do a great job dampening movement in a factory vehicle. Or a high performance vehicle or lifted vehicle, we need to separate those two, and we don't want them mixing, causing cavitation. So what we've got is right around in here, there's gonna be a piston inside of this shock, a sealed piston. Above the piston is the nitrogen charge, below the piston is all the shock oil. And that keeps those two separate completely and allows much more consistent performance throughout the range of motion of the shock.
That is really cool. Now, these two shocks offer very similar performance, but this is more of a cost-minded product versus this is nice, shiny aluminum performance, and this is something that you can get into for a little bit less money.
Absolutely. So when we think about, you know, a twin tube shock, I don't know, $30 to $50, you know, at the parts store, and then a Performance Series shock, you know, that's going to land you probably at least $200, you know, and the Adventure Series finds that person just kind of right in between there. I need a little bit more performance, but I don't quite need all that. That's where our Adventure Series, you know, 130 or so right in there. Kind of a shock for everybody.
You know, it's been really cool looking at this. Let's go check some more stuff out.
Absolutely.
So we're over in your guys' warehouse checking out all the amazing products you have on the shelf, and we kind of hinted to mild to wild earlier, and these were the shocks we were looking at, the Performance Series.
Yep, Performance Series 2.0. And
this is the wild side of it.
There's the wild side. So yeah, what you're looking at there is a Fox 3.0 internal bypass with a DSC adjuster and fin reservoir.
These are party shocks.
Yes, so that's a factory race series shocks. That's what Fox considers that. So you see the massive 7/8 diameter shock shaft. Again, internal bypass, that's a position sensitive valving, meaning you can jump on that. It knows what to do when you leave the ground, and it knows what to do when you return to the ground.
Not only can I put Fox Shox on my daily, I can put it on my off-road rig, race truck, whatever I want.
Yep, well, and we pair all of our BDS and JKS lift kits, you know, they have a Fox Shox counterpart, and with the Adventure Series, the Zone, you know, has a Fox Shox counterpart, and we carry upwards of, you know, at minimum $5, $10, $13 million worth of Fox Shox to pair with our kits and ready to go ship out next day.
So we've made it to the end of the line. This is where all the product heads out the door to retailers like us.
That's it. So we put all of our heart and soul and love into this baby. It is going on a truck to a Summit warehouse near you.
It's been so much fun today, Justin, checking out the facility, seeing how these are manufactured, and just the nitty-gritty parts of shock manufacturing.
Absolutely. We love making all these parts, from the lift kits to the shocks, and testing and tuning them. And, you know, we really enjoy having people come in and check it out. And, of course, checking out the parts at summitracing.com as well.
Yeah, so all this stuff is available from BDS, Fox Factory, right at summitracing.com. So head over there and check out a lift kit or shocks for your ride. Justin, it's been a pleasure today. We've had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, we have, Justin. Until next time, right?
Yeah, so until next time, guys, I'm Justin with Summit Racing.
I'm Justin with Fox Factory.
And we'll see you guys later.